Dave and I decided that when we took over leadership of the company following the founders, we decided that we wanted to do some different things to just put our stamp on the culture, and it was also important for us to really be able to get information from the frontline employees. So we started, and we were doing it as a one-time thing, and it was so successful we've kept it up every year. But basically we go out to the individual divisions so that we're out in the field and probably do up to 15 to 20 different road trips a year, and so we would be in almost like a town meeting format with center directors and other folks from that area that support them. And we actually give them a quick update on how the company's doing, but more important, we want to hear from them about how they're feeling. So it's also, I think, exciting to meet first-time directors who have never met you before. But I think one of the memorable times this road trip was probably when we went to Chicago. It was the largest group that we were meeting with, and so there was less time for the personal one-on-one connections. But the director who hosted it this year at her center was Amy Magnus.
My name is Amy Magnus. I'm the director at Alexian Brothers Child Care Center in Elk Grove Village, Illinois. We are affiliated with Alexian Brothers Medical Center. About 2.5 years ago, the medical center made the decision to transfer management, and we feel very fortunate that we were acquired by Bright Horizons. So we have celebrated 2.5 years with Bright Horizons.
Talking to her, you could see that she was starting to feel more comfortable in her role with Bright Horizons.
We were asked to host the roadshow because we could accommodate everyone in our division over at the medical center. We were very excited. Being so new to the company and being asked to be a host was really an honor. And my regional manager, Karen, also shared then they would tour our center. So we got very, very excited about that. And we actually then were approved to have our whole center painted and carpeted, so we were like really thrilled. The center was going to look great when the roadshow came through, and of course as things happen, things fell behind, the project didn't get started. So actually at the time that the roadshow occurred, we were still in the process of painting, nothing was on the walls, the carpeting wasn't done, and the center was a mess.
And so I toured her center, and it was interesting because she was almost apologetic that the program wasn't quite up to our standards, and really where the improvement needed to be, there needed to be more investment in the facility that the hospital was doing over time because it was challenging economic times. And they had done an incredible job, just an incredible job working with, some difficult facility challenges.
I was like just feeling really disappointed that, the center wasn't going to look the way I wanted it to look. First thing Marianne did is she came right up to me and she said, "Don't worry about how your center looks." She's like, "I just want to meet you, I just want to meet your teachers." And she's like, "And guess what? My grandson's center just got painted and nothing's on their walls either." So I immediately just felt reassured and better about the whole situation.
And so over the course of the tour, I just felt like the barriers were breaking down, and she was opening up, and she could see that I was just a real human being and not the president of Bright Horizons, and it was just a very nice connection.
I was just struck by how personable and genuine Marianne was. She just made everyone she met feel so comfortable. She was interested in hearing about the improvements that we were going to make at the center and offering suggestions. She was just very warm. She gave me a big hug when she left, and that same day I wrote her a thank you card, just thanking her for taking the time, and again, just being so warm and friendly to me and to everyone, and just being so gracious. Because I know she's seen a lot of centers, and mine wasn't at its best.
And the culmination of that was, a really thoughtful letter on her part, thanking me for taking the time to tour her center, which was actually probably one of the most enjoyable parts of the whole trip, and meeting her teachers and meeting the children and some of her families. And so for her to take the time to write me a very thoughtful letter thanking me meant a lot. And then I followed up with an email to her, thanking her for her wonderful letter, which started another exchange, which became, you know, a more personal connection. So I think it's just a perfect example where you are out in the field and you make personal connections that end up lifelong connections, because you will always remember that time, and the relationship grows from there.
That's great.